Welcome back to the River Valley Redneck. Today I'm going to be making deer hoists. I got a buddy of mine that's wanting a deer hoist, and told him I'd make him one since I've got some extra scrap laying around. You know, it's not the prettiest stuff in the world. He's not real worried about the way it looks though. So I'm going to go ahead and chop all this up into the pieces I need to make one, and that way he can have him a deer hoist for this deer season. And I figured I'd take y'all along for the ride. So let's get to it. This may not be the fastest way to cut things, but it sure is a lot quieter than the way I'm used to do it, and pretty handy.
You're chilling in the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 oh,
Alright, I got all my pieces cut out. Got them all laid out and mocked up. I'm not going to start welding yet. I found it's a lot easier to drill my holes before I weld anything together because it fits on my drill press a lot better, and it's a lot easier to work with and manage. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on drilling my holes. The only piece I will weld up is I've got this piece right here. I put a round pipe in the middle of it. I do that because my deer hoist, it pivots 360 degrees right there. And that way it assists you in loading it into the bed of the truck. A lot of the deer hoists you see on the for sale from Academy and whatnot, they don't pivot like that. They're just a solid piece up, and they're also pretty cheaply made, and they will bend real easily. I've seen them bend with a 110-pound doe on them, and you can see the flex in them. These right here, these don't flex. They won't bend. I've sold a bunch of them and never had a complaint. And one guy that has bought probably 4 or 5 from me, he's actually used one of them to lift a motor out of a car. So it's definitely going to lift the deer with no problem. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get to start drilling, and I got to weld that piece in there in a few, and then I'll get this thing all tacked up together. I always keep one of these reducer sleeves laying around. That way I can check everything out, make sure it all lines up and goes through. Everything looks good there. Okay, now what I do here, since I've got a round pipe going into a square tube, if you notice there's a little bit of play there. In order to get that centered up, I take another smaller piece and I will stick it on there, and I'll get it lined up as good as I can to where it's nice and straight. And I just back it out just enough to be able to tack a couple of places. What that does is that centers that pipe up to where you don't have to worry about it being leaning to one side or another. And it makes it a lot easier and a lot nicer. And a lot easier to turn it whenever you're trying to turn it. And what I do is I weld that thing all the way around it. Then I'll take a grinder and I will smooth that off. That'll allow me to spin my top piece around all the way. I think we are good to go. That pin right there allows you to drive down the road or whatever, and it's not going to turn and twist on you. Okay, I've got all my parts drilled, got them all cut out, and I've verified that this will lock in either front ways or back ways. So we're good to go there. And now it's pretty much just a matter of starting to tack everything together, weld it all up, and then get the actual hoist itself mounted to it, and get the pulleys and everything mounted to the top of it. And I've still got to get the pulleys and the hoist, so I'll probably be doing that one in the next day or two. I guess stop on the way home from work and grab it. So I'll get that all taken care of. Since I do several of these deer hoists, I made these red things that I can set down into some holes that are pre-drilled. What it does is it's 90 degrees. That way I don't have to guess. I can set my pieces up here to make my 90-degree angle and then tack them in place. It makes life a lot easier when I'm doing a bunch of these. Now that they're all tacked together, it's just a matter of welding them all the way. I'm doing here is I'm welding gussets on there. I do that on all my deer hoists. I know they're not needed, but it does make them stronger. I normally use a 2-inch square tubing for a gusset right there, but this time I decided to go with this. I think that's going to work just fine too. Okay, as you can see, I have everything done that I can get done pretty much until I get my pulleys for up here. I'm gonna put one here and one out here, and I'll have the winch right here with the cable going up. I'm gonna call it quits for the day, and sometime in the next day or two I'll stop and get everything I need, and I will finish up another video and have this thing finished up, and I'll show you everything about it and how it works. So catch you on the flip side, and we'll see you then.